Now at 9, the latest on a police standoff in a Joplin neighborhood. Plus,
as Christmas nears, local businesses say they're experiencing a confectionery craze as people hope to make the holiday extra sweet. I'm Samantha Walker, and I'll have that story coming up.
And we'll hear what some four-staters think about the idea of Christmas re-gifting.
The four states' most watched news starts now.
Authorities have a suspect in custody after a standoff today in Joplin. This is KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. I'm Dow Quick. Joplin police were working off of information that a wanted person was inside a home in the Fairview neighborhood. Around 2 this afternoon, they surrounded that home and asked neighbors to stay indoors. About an hour later, SWAT arrived and started calling for a suspect to come out. Authorities say they deployed a robot, and KOAM's Shannon Becker saw a drone above the home. After gas was deployed into the home, a woman came out of the house late this afternoon. Then this evening, authorities continued to use gas until a suspect came out. Police say his name is Timothy Adams. He was wanted on felony warrants in Barton and Jasper County, also felony probation and parole warrants. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Doug Heddy now for a first look at the weather.
Well, it turned out to be a gloomy Monday, but temperatures fantastic. 56 was our high. We only started at 47 degrees above our average high for this time of the year at 46 degrees. Looking outside, we do have some patches of drizzle or a few sprinkles, but this will pick up as we go through the overnight hours. Temperatures are going to stay well above freezing. We're mainly sitting into lower 50s. But you can see this is very light rain, so very light sprinkles, but starting to increase a little bit once you get into our southern counties. So you can see really south of Grove, down toward northwestern Arkansas, and this will continue to fill in as we go through the next several hours as this wave heads out toward us. So this means rain for us tonight, rain on your Christmas Eve, and even more rain down the road. We're going to discuss it here in a bit.
See you soon. The holiday season brings cherished family traditions, many of which revolve around sweets. According to the National Confectioners Association, more than 90% of Americans will celebrate with chocolate or some other candy. KOAM Samantha Walker visited a local business, one in Webb City, as they manage the Christmas candy craze.
We love this.
We love it.
We love this. This is bad Grammy time.
Yes.
So then we get to send them home.
Each Christmas, Jane Danley enjoys a special tradition with her grandchildren she looks forward to every year.
This is our annual candy run. We take all the grandkids that we have here and we go to different candy stores around Joplin and Webb City area, and they get to pick out some candy.
The family visits half a dozen candy stores across the area. One of their yearly stops is Spencer's Sweet Call to buy some homemade candy canes.
This building is especially known for candy canes, and they've probably made enough from here to make it to the moon.
The store owner says the holiday season is an important one, with a quarter of their yearly sales taking place in November and December.
It's a lot of prep work.
From candy canes to chocolate Santas and snowmen, candy stores like Spencer's Sweet Call are ready to try and make the holiday season extra sweet.
We have once a year customers that come back year after year. We have people that are still finding us. We have people that come all year, and then especially they come at this time of year.
For many families, candy at Christmas is more about tradition than what's going into stockings.
During Christmas time, I think it's more of a gift.
Tradition.
Yeah. Our grandma's always bought the ribbon candy and the candy canes for us, so it's a special memory.
And for small business owners, they say it's meaningful to see their products become part of a Christmas tradition.
There's a certain look that people get in their eyes when they have something that they really like. Their eyes light up, and that's what makes it all worthwhile.
Just hopefully they'll remember it.
It's sweet.
Yes, literally, it's sweet.
Reporting in Webb City, Samantha Walker, KOAM News.
Now, according to the National Confectioners Association, consumers are expected to spend more than $7 billion on sweet treats this holiday season. If you're stuck with that ugly sweater your favorite aunt gave you this holiday season, well, don't sweat it. You can always pass it along to someone who'll actually love it if you can find someone. According to a recent survey by Bankrate, 33% of Americans admit to regifting something they weren't totally in love with. And get this, 1 in 3 Americans also think regifting holiday presents is totally acceptable. KOAM's Lonnie Walton goes to Joplin's North Park Mall to see how some of you feel.
A couple of people that have everything, don't want anything, or so they say.
Tim Kumbauer is a Joplin resident who says he's shopping for those hard-to-convince loved ones.
You know, there are always that person or people that are just impossible to find anything for.
And that can be a problem for some. What if he gets a gift his loved one doesn't like? Should that person re-gift and give to someone else? One shopper says it all depends.
It depends on what it is. If it's like a sentimental gift, then no. But if it's something you don't want, then yeah.
And yes is what we've been hearing all day.
Oh, 100%. 100%. I do, absolutely. Yep, as long as it's not open and it's still sealed. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I do it, so.
One customer says regifting is okay, but she's a good present picker.
Regifting's okay, but they're gonna like it.
And we even found a customer who advised us on how to do it the right way.
You have to make a note as to who gave it to you, because that could be a problem.
Although most of our customers believe in gift-free shopping, we found one that says that he doesn't believe in gift-free shopping, and if it happens to him, you better watch out.
We don't do that. If she don't like it, we just re-gift her.
And for Tim, even if he gets the wrong gift for his hard-to-convince loved one, he says he's all in for regifting.
I think you're going to be careful who you regift from and to, but yeah, I think that's better than them just sitting there, you know, like I said, in a box.
Reporting in Joplin, I'm Lonnie Walton, KOAM News.
Also, according to that same Bankrate survey, 43% of Americans say they have unused gift cards. However, only 8% have regifted those. With winter in full swing, the Coffeyville Public Library welcomed local kids to a festive winter break party. The event featured holiday photos, hot cocoa, cookies, and games. This free gathering offered families a chance to celebrate the season with fun activities close to home. And it wasn't just the kids having a good time. Library staff enjoyed the festivities too.
It is free. We don't charge for most of our events. That way, you know, kids with less resources than others have the full opportunity to be able to experience events like this without having to worry about anything else.
The library says they try to provide free events all year for area children. Coming up, how to commit to your New Year's workout resolution, and later, Amazon still facing strikes throughout the Christmas season.
Story and more at 7 a.m.
While the new year can be a time for change, there are some goals you might not want to delay starting until 2025. Fox News correspondent Marianne Rafferty takes a closer look at the benefits of getting an early start to your workout resolutions.
As the countdown to the new year ticks louder, millions of people are busy drafting their resolutions. But with many folks setting workout goals for themselves, some fitness experts recommend not waiting until the ball drops to kickstart these intentions. The cooler temperatures and shorter days that accompany the winter months can make people less active.
Combine that with the holidays, extra calories that are around. There's a reason why people gain weight over the holiday season.
Even if it's just a little, easing into a workout routine before the new year can help you avoid falling into a cold weather slump.
We always think of starting on January 1st, whereas it's going to be a lot easier in the long term to start with some momentum.
Besides helping to boost your immune system, breaking an early sweat could even make you more merrier this season.
It's cold and flu season, so regular physical activity is very beneficial for the immune system. Exercise releases endorphins, so it gives us kind of those mood boosting hormones that kind of help us mentally as well.
If going on an outdoor run or hitting the slopes is too chilly, experts recommend joining a gym, indoor pool, or doing home workouts. Meanwhile, just because it's cold doesn't mean you can't sweat, with health officials urging everyone to stay hydrated this winter. Marianne Rafferty, Fox News.
The holidays are filled with tempting treats, but they can be especially challenging for people managing their weight or blood sugar levels, including those with diabetes. Nutrition experts say focusing on what you can add to your plate, like vegetables, fruits, and whole grains, can make healthy eating a lot easier. When indulging in holiday favorites, portion control, of course, is key. Using a smaller plate can help limit how much you serve yourself. Also, watch your drink choices. Limiting alcohol, especially sugary mixed drinks, can help keep blood sugar in check. And remember to manage holiday stress, which can spike blood sugar levels. Taking time to relax can help prevent emotional eating and improve your overall well-being. Laws banning the sale of tobacco to people under age 21 are effective at reducing smoking and saving lives. A study in JAMA Network found more than 500,000 lives could be saved with such provisions in place. However, they found that enforcement of smoking restrictions vary greatly from state to state, and states with the toughest smoking laws saw the biggest health benefit. Doug is next with a complete look at your forecast, and later we're going to have the latest on the continuing Amazon strikes.
Merry Christmas!
Co-op Arts and Entertainment Complex, home of Connect-A-Culture and Spivus Center for the Arts.
Well, it definitely turned out to be kind of a gloomy Monday, but temperature's great. High temps into the mid-50s. We do have a storm system rolling in, so this is going to give us some light showers as we go through the overnight hours tonight. But it looks good right now. Nice shot of our Cornell Arts and Entertainment Complex tower cam in downtown Joplin. All right, let's go outside. We have the clouds. You can see some little bit of green popping up on the radar. Most of this is not reaching the ground, but we are starting to get some showers, which are popping up. We've had some drizzle, but light showers popping up just south of Grand Lake and into northwestern Arkansas. And these will expand in coverage as we go through the overnight hours. But we are going to see rain starting to drift in, especially the southern half of the area. That's going to be the area that has the better shot to have the wet roads as we go into the morning hours. Fairly weak wave. See a little spin down through central parts of Oklahoma, so this weak wave is going to push on through. Let me take you through time. Here's 11 p.m. Hit and miss, light showers, but really increasing, especially along that I-44 corridor and south and along that Kansas-Oklahoma state line and south. Northern counties, just hit and miss, very light showers. Periods of showers through the night into tomorrow morning. Here's 9:30 in the morning. So the morning hours, we're going to have light showers, and then these are going to work on out of here by the time we get into Tuesday afternoon, your Christmas Eve. Let's go into the rest of the day. Clouds hold tight. We're going to stop at midnight, about Santa time. No snow. Temperatures, lower 40s across the region. Clouds stick all the way into Wednesday morning, of course, Christmas Day. And all day long on Christmas Day, clouds. We could get a few random little sprinkles at times, so kind of very similar to what we saw today, kind of dreary with cloudy skies. And then as we go into Christmas evening, the clouds kind of hang tight, and then we'll watch our next storm system roll in. Rain chances really go up late tonight through the morning hours and then taper off as we go into the afternoon. If you live in our northern counties, you're not really going to see much rain. Maybe a little bit under 1/10 of an inch. Once you get down to the metro and south, we go from about 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 an inch, upwards to 1 inch in some of our southern counties. We don't have to worry about anything frozen. Temperatures are nice and warm. We're sitting into the low to mid 50s outside. 54, winds are pretty much on the calm side. Here's your Christmas Eve day planner, 47 to start, 49 by noon. So we'll kind of hang out upper 40s to near 50 degrees. Next system, this rolls in by Thursday afternoon into Thursday evening. Again, most of the rain along and south of Interstate 44 lasting into Friday morning, and then this system will start to eject out. So we have a lot to watch as we go through the next several days. 49 tomorrow, 53 on your Christmas. Look at those temperatures. Stay in the upper 50s for the rest of the week, even 60s by Saturday.
Yeah, that weekend looks unreal.
It looks pretty good.
We're talking late December.
Yeah.
Thanks, Doug. Coming up, what travelers should expect in the coming days.
AAA predicts a record number of Americans are going to be flying this holiday season. I'm Brooke Taylor in Dallas. We'll have the latest coming up.
Sign up today for the Chili 5K on New Year's Day. RufusRacing.com.
Nominate your Forced Aid hero today.
With Christmas Eve coming up tomorrow, holiday travel is expecting and kicking off for families ahead of what's likely to be one of the busiest years. Fox's Brooke Taylor is in Dallas with the latest.
The travel rush is officially on. With Christmas just 2 days away, millions of Americans are heading to the roads and the skies, making their way home for the holidays.
I remember last Christmas waiting in the line to get through TSA. It was 2 hours, and it was at 4 in the morning. So I decided that I would come very early.
Major metro areas throughout the state will have extra congestion, holiday travelers hitting the road trying to get to their destination.
Travel experts at AAA expect a record-breaking number of Americans to travel this holiday break.
There was a lot going on, and it didn't help that we were a little bit behind because of delays, but we're here. It was a great vacation.
An estimated 119 million people are expected to travel at least 50 miles from home over the 12-day stretch before Christmas and after New Year's. That's more than 3 million more travelers than last year, topping the previous record high set 5 years ago, pre-pandemic.
Come early. Super early.
And Monday, December 23rd could be the busiest of all.
I usually like to get here pretty decently early.
But with added crowds come added risks. Insurance companies nationwide warn it's also the most dangerous day to drive.
Don't risk it. Don't push it because you just have this mind that I have to get there no matter what.
And if you're planning on driving this holiday season, a little bit of good news for you. The national average for gas is some of its lowest since the pre-pandemic numbers. In Dallas, I'm Brooke Taylor, Fox News.
Strikes against Amazon continued this weekend. Members of the International Brotherhood of Teamsters walked off the jobs in cities such as New York, Atlanta, San Francisco, and Chicago, demanding better pay and working conditions. Workers say they want wages comparable to other delivery drivers. Meanwhile, Senator Bernie Sanders criticized Amazon founder Jeff Bezos, accusing the company of unfairly treating its workers. Workers say the timing of the strike is intentional, highlighting their crucial role during the holiday season. Just days before the holidays, Amtrak is warning of possible travel delays along its busy Northeast corridor. Service was temporarily suspended yesterday between Philadelphia and New York due to downed power lines that blocked tracks. Crews have restored access to some tracks, though trains are operating at reduced speeds in some areas. Amtrak says it's going to waive fees for customers who choose to change their reservations. Law enforcement in Southwest Missouri wants to remind people to be careful when throwing out your boxes and trash after unwrapping your Christmas presents. Say it's best to break down those boxes and put them in opaque trash bags or inside the bin. They warn one man's trash could be a would-be robber's treasure.
Trash fills up with all the wrapping, boxes, stuff like that, so you leave the big boxes outside your trash can. Want to discourage that a little bit so the criminals don't know exactly what new items are in your house. You're basically advertising you just got a brand new 70-inch TV if you're leaving the box out on the curb.
Also, consider taking your boxes to a local recycling center. If someone is going through your trash, well, you can call 911. Officers will investigate if the person is doing more than collecting items, causing disturbance, or tossing trash in the street or yard. Up next, a local farmers market brings holiday cheer to the dinner table. We're going to show you how the community is preparing for Christmas with a special event.
Suffer with hip or groin pain? You may be a candidate for minimally invasive hip arthroscopic surgery. Dr. Thomas Sanders with Freeman Orthopedics and
to community service.
Today, the Neosho Farmers Market introduced the Christmas Table Market. The event followed the success of last month's Thanksgiving Table Market. Once again, the community could take advantage of an opportunity for both pre-order holiday meal dishes such as entrees, sides, desserts, baked goods, and more, as well as shop for last-minute items for the family dinner table. Shoppers could also enjoy a variety of market favorite ready-to-eat and drink items while they shopped. While Doug tracks your weather, we have a way you can track Santa. Mr. Claus himself, the Santa Tracker, lets you track St. Nick as he makes his trip across the country and, for that matter, all around the world. You can also check out the fun and games at the North Pole Village. It's a pretty cool site. Just head over to koamnewsnow.com/Santa for the link. 30 more minutes of news, weather, and sports is coming your way. Coming up, President-elect Trump takes aim at the Panama Canal. Hear why he's calling for it to be returned to U.S. control. Plus, President Biden takes a controversial step in his final days, commuting the sentences of most federal death row inmates.
Wins. You're watching the 4 States most watched news.
This is KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. I'm Dow Quick. President-elect Donald Trump says he wants to regain control of the Panama Canal. Fox's Grady Trimble is at the White House with more on that and what other diplomatic changes Trump says he wants to make when he takes office less than a month away.
We're being ripped off at the Panama Canal like we're being ripped off everywhere else.
President-elect Donald Trump doubling down on threats to regain control of the Panama Canal, telling supporters during a rally in Arizona Sunday the United States, quote, foolishly ceded control to its Central American ally. Trump maintains the 51-mile waterway that former President Jimmy Carter agreed to gradually hand over to Panama in the late 70s is vital to the United States' economic and security interests. Adding on Truth Social, the fees being charged by Panama are ridiculous, especially knowing the extraordinary generosity that has been bestowed to Panama by the U.S.
If the principles, both moral and legal, of this magnanimous gesture of giving are not followed, then we will demand that the Panama Canal be returned to the United States of America in full, quickly, and without question. I'm not going to stand for it.
Trump's threats underscoring a shift in U.S. diplomacy, as the president-elect is also signaling he wants to make another play to control Greenland. And in recent weeks, Trump has repeatedly mused about turning Canada into a U.S. state.
The reality is we're going to continue to work constructively with the incoming administration.
El canal no tiene control.
Meanwhile, Panama's president, in a video statement, responded to Trump's latest threat, saying, quote, every square meter of the Panama Canal and its adjacent areas belong to Panama and will continue belonging to Panama. President-elect Trump responded, posting on Truth Social, quote, we'll see about that. The inauguration is just 28 days away. At the White House, Grady Trimble, Fox Business.
26-year-old Luigi Mangione was back in a New York City courtroom today, continuing to make national headlines. He pleaded not guilty to multiple state charges, including 3 counts of murder and second-degree murder as a crime of terrorism. His attorney argues the case has been handled unfairly, citing what they call a staged perp walk last week, when Mangione was flown into the city in shackles and an orange jumpsuit. The state charges are only part of Mangione's legal troubles. He might face federal charges in the coming days, where a conviction could carry potentially the death penalty. The House Ethics Committee has released its report on former Florida Congressman Matt Gaetz, President-elect Donald Trump's initial pick for Attorney General. It determined there is substantial evidence that Gaetz violated House rules and other standards of conduct prohibiting prostitution, statutory rape, illicit drug use, impermissible gifts, special favors or privileges, and obstruction of Congress. It concluded Gaetz violated multiple state laws, paid numerous women, including a 17-year-old girl, for sex. Gaetz had already withdrawn as Trump's AG pick. Just days before Christmas, President Joe Biden commutes the death sentences of nearly every inmate on federal death row. As Fox's Mike Emanuel reports from Washington, the move comes ahead of President-elect Donald Trump's expected plans to resume federal capital punishment.
With his time in office coming to a close, President Joe Biden is using his executive power to shape his judicial legacy, announcing Monday he's commuting the sentences of 37 of the 40 prisoners currently sitting on federal death row. The inmates, all men convicted of murder, will now serve life in prison without the possibility of parole.
He didn't give commutations on the death penalty to the 3 death penalty or death row inmates who were dealt with by the Biden Justice Department and the Obama Biden Justice Department.
In a statement, the president said he condemns these murders and grieves for the victims and their families, but added, quote, "In good conscience, I cannot stand back and let a new administration resume executions that I halted." The president placed a moratorium on federal executions in 2021. President-elect Donald Trump has promised to reinstate the death penalty, prompting many, including Pope Francis, to urge Biden to commute these sentences.
There are some real questions about the fairness and the process of the death penalty in the United States.
There is no legacy a president should seek.
3 men will remain on federal death row. Robert Bowers, who killed 11 people at the Tree of Life Synagogue in Pittsburgh. Dylan Roof, the white supremacist who killed 9 black parishioners at a Charleston, South Carolina church. And Dzhokhar Tsarnaev, one of the 2 Boston Marathon bombers. 13 federal executions were carried out during Donald Trump's first term in office, ending a nearly 20-year pause on capital punishment. In Washington, Mike Emanuel, Fox News.
Doug is next with a complete look at the Forecast Plus.
A NASA spacecraft is venturing closer to the center of our solar system than any other human-made object. I'm Rebecca Kessler in Washington with more on this mission to touch the sun.
We choose to be here for many of the same reasons you do. Starts.
Well, of course, kind of a dreary Monday, but overall it turned out to be a nice day for us today. Temperatures into the 50s. Right now, we do have some pockets of drizzle, but overall looks pretty good. Nice shot of our Cornell Arts and Entertainment Complex tower cam. We're looking in downtown Joplin. All right, so we do have some pockets of very light showers, but starting to pick up just a bit in our southern county. So we're really looking from Grove, Grand Lake South into Benton County, southern parts of McDonald County. And we'll continue to see these showers picking up as we go through the next several hours as this weak wave pushes right through the region. You can see it kind of flaring up central parts of Oklahoma. Not a ton of moisture, but enough to give us some rain as we go through the overnight hours. Unless you're in our northern counties, Yates Center, Iola, Fort Scott, Nevada, Stockton, you're just going to get a couple random showers. The farther south you work, the more rain you're going to get, especially once you get to Joplin and then point south. Scattered showers throughout the night, but again, very sparse once you get into our northern counties. We go into the morning. Here's 9:30 in the morning. We're going to start with showers, but the afternoon, mainly cloudy skies. So Christmas Eve past the noon hour, just mainly cloudy. Temperatures kind of hanging out near 50 degrees. Clouds stick around into Christmas morning. So if you're waking up early, here 6:30 in the morning, if you have kids young, you'll be waking up pretty early. Temperature sitting into the lower 40s. Cloudy all day. Could get a random pockets of drizzle, maybe a random quick little shower, but most of us dry. Temperatures into lower 50s once we get into Christmas afternoon. Rain chances really shoot up late tonight through the morning, and then we'll taper off as we get into the afternoon hours. Again, rainfall amounts in our northern counties, not that much, maybe 1/10 of an inch. But once you get to about Joplin, Neosho, Pineville, 1/4 of an inch, 1/2 an inch, upwards to an inch in our far southern counties. Temperatures right now, okay, we're going to hang out mainly into the mid 40s later on tonight. We're still sitting at 54 degrees across the region. Day planner on Christmas Eve, 47 to start, 49 by noon. And I think that's pretty much going to be our high temperature. All right, brief break, mainly on Christmas. Here comes rain again as we get into Thursday afternoon and Thursday evening. Periods of showers lasting into Friday morning, and then we'll exit the region. We have another system that kind of develops around us on Saturday, but then pushes off toward the east. And then as we go into early next week, I think it's pretty quiet until we start to get right after the new year. That's when we'll see chances for rain, maybe even a little bit of snow. All right, 49 on Christmas Eve, 53 on Wednesday. Temperatures kind of mild. Upper 50s Thursday and Friday, 63 by Saturday. So all week long, it's not going to be cold, freezing temperatures.
Doesn't look like Christmas,
No.
but, you know, really, it's going to be a nice weekend to get outside.
Yeah,
maybe.
not bad.
Thanks, Doug. Coming up in sports, I'll look back at football season in the 4 states. John Dales revisits this year's pigskin predictions and explains which ones were right and which ones were wrong. That's up next in sports.
Professional people, professional service.
Goodbye, limits. Hello, possibilities.
Football season has come and gone in the 4 states, and every summer we release our KOAM Pigskin Preview. Every winter we revisit the predictions we made in the Pigskin Preview. Some were right, and of course, some were wrong. Now, without any further ado, let's see where we knew it and where we blew it. We start with one that we got right, and that's the Miami War Dogs. We said they'd go 8-3, and that's exactly what the War Dogs did. That included a 3-point win on the road over their rival Grove. An 8-3 season, good enough for the War Dogs to earn their first home playoff game in a couple decades. Miami goes 6-1 in district play. Its only loss was to Wagner, who went undefeated in the regular season. Now, we look where we blew it and look no further than Frontenac. We thought they would go 5-3, but the Raiders blew that prediction out of the water, and under the direction of head coach Leon Miller, who began his second stint as head coach for Frontenac, the Raiders were a perfect 8-0 in the regular season. That, of course, includes going undefeated in CNC play. Their season came to a close at regionals. Over to Missouri, where we knew it. That's the Carthage Tigers. We thought they'd go 8-1. And that was dead on. The Tigers lost just one game in the regular season. That was against eventual 6A state runner-up Nixa. Led by a very strong senior class, the Tigers did not lose a single road game all year. That includes the playoffs as well. And they had 4 members of their team receive all state honors. Staying in Missouri, back to where we blew it. That's the Sarcoxy Bears. We thought they'd get just 2 wins, but the Bears reached that win total just 2 weeks into the season. I'm not quite sure how we got this one so wrong, so you're not going to hear any excuses from me on this one. We just dropped the ball here, and Sarcoxy went on to finish the regular season with 5 wins. They won a first-round playoff game as well. Back to where we knew it. We thought Humboldt would go undefeated, and it did. The Cubs went 7-1 in 2023, stepped things up a notch this year with a perfect 8-0 regular season record. Nobody came within 10 points of the Cubs all year. Their offense scored 40 points or more in 7 of those 8 regular season games. Cubs went on to win a regional championship in the playoffs for the 3rd year in a row. We stay in Kansas. We blew it with the Columbus Titans. They were one of the most fun teams to watch in the area. Columbus played a hard-nosed, smash-mouth brand of football. We predicted them to go 3-5 in the regular season, but even while facing very tough CNC competition, Columbus finishes with a 6-2 record and won a first-round playoff game as well. The last prediction we hit head-on is the Pittsburgh State Gorillas. In year 1, under the direction of head coach Tom Anthony, we expected PSU to go 8-2, and that's exactly what the Gorillas did in the regular season. Now, things obviously didn't end the way that Pitt State was hoping with that first-round playoff loss to Harding. However, the Gorillas beat Ferris State 19-3. That was back in August. They were the only team to beat the Bulldogs all year. Ferris State just won the national championship by 35 points this Saturday. Our final prediction that we got very wrong belongs to Labette County. Entering this year, Labette had finished with a losing record for 5 consecutive seasons. We just thought it would be more of the same in 2024 and predicted a 2-6 record. But the Grizzlies proved us wrong. They went 4-4 in the regular season. They also won a first-round playoff game before falling to eventual state runner-up Bishop Miege. Now, even when we do look very wrong like this, hey, it's good for teams to kind of get that motivation. We predicted you to not do that great, and then they prove us wrong on the field.
You prove them to do, or you predicted they're not going to do very well, and they are set out to prove you wrong. And a lot of them did just that.
Yeah.
We'll be right back.
Are you or your loved one receiving care?
Bourbon County Commissioners tonight approved some plans relating to the new Freeman Health System location in Fort Scott. That location will open by June 1st. The county plans to donate some medical equipment to the hospital, such as scales, ultrasound systems, incubators, x-ray systems, and more. The ER location and an acute care hospital will be inside the old Mercy building. The Nevada Public Library joined in the holiday spirit today with a special Family Fun Day. The event included a mini workshop where visitors could create handmade crafts. It was open to kids, teens, and families, bringing everyone together for some creative holiday fun. Christmas Eve could bring the chance for one or more lucky people to get close to $1 billion. That's because the Mega Millions jackpot shot up to $944 million after no tickets matched all 6 winning numbers for the top prize. The cash option for tomorrow night's drawing is more than $429 million. And Sonic the Hedgehog 3 swung past Disney's Mufasa the Lion King to top the domestic weekend box office. The Sonic sequel brought in an estimated $62 million, while the Lion King live-action prequel took in $35 million. Wicked is still defying gravity, earning more than $13 million this past weekend. Moana 2 also brought in just over $13 million. NASA takes a trip near the sun. That's coming up. Scientists and astronomers are hoping Santa Claus comes a day early this year, sort of. That's because on Christmas Eve, a NASA spacecraft will pass closer to the center of our solar system than any human-made object ever has. Fox's Rebecca Castor tells us more about the mission to touch the sun.
3, 2, 1.
Hurtling towards Earth's closest star at an astonishing 430,000 miles per hour. NASA's Parker Solar Probe is on a mission to better understand the mysteries of the sun.
Everything that our sun does affects us here on Earth.
Launched back in 2018, Parker's journey is taking it about 90 million miles from Earth and will come within 4 million miles of the sun's surface. That sounds pretty far, but
if you think about a football field, if you put the Earth at one end zone and the sun at the other end zone, it's going to make it to the 4-yard line of the sun.
Parker is equipped with a state-of-the-art heat shield that will somehow keep its scientific equipment at room temperature, even though it will endure temperatures exceeding 1 million degrees as it approaches the sun's outermost atmosphere, or corona, the area that was visible during this summer's total solar eclipse.
This is where all of the activity that can impact us here at Earth, give us the beautiful aurora, northern and southern lights, but also impact our technologies.
Solar storms in the corona release huge amounts of electromagnetic radiation into space, which can affect satellites, GPS, even the power grid and other technology here on Earth. Scientists hope the data collected by Parker will help them better understand these events.
Being able to understand the physics is the next step to being able to eventually predict when one of these things is going to get to us, how strong is it going to be, and what's the impact going to be.
Parker's mission isn't over after its red-hot Christmas Eve. NASA says if things go as planned, it will continue to gather data on the sun for several more years. In Washington, Rebecca Castor, Fox News.
And that's our time for tonight. Thanks for joining us. We're going to leave you with video of some Christmas lights around Joplin. Let's make it a great tomorrow.